And I think Jay-Z's like, hold on, don't connect me to that, bro. Right. My domino falling ain't your domino falling, and I'm saying that there is more dominoes to fall, but he's like, don't connect us like that. So I can see why he wanted to have that type of separation.
Right.
Perfect.
See how they did my man Hov? Jay-Z had an accuser come out, you know what I'm saying, accusing him of sexual assault when she was 13 years old. This is one of the Diddy accusers who I believe
so this was
a petition.
Oh, so I didn't know that. So she previously accused Diddy.
Yeah,
now she's bringing Hov into it.
100%. Yeah, remember when we were talking and we put that lawyer, Tony Buzbee?
Yeah,
he had the phone number behind him and everything like that. That was one of his clients. So I believe when they first filed it was just Diddy, an unnamed celebrity. And I guess that was when they reached out to probably Hov and say, you know what I mean, your name's going to pop up in something unless you want to settle just so we could da-da-da-da-da. And that's what, Hov's like, I ain't doing that. So,
okay.
When they refiled it, Jay-Z's name was now in it. It was amended to have Jay-Z's name in it. And Jay-Z was not going for it, man. He came scorched earth in response to it, man.
Biatch, please.
First, he dropped that statement. It was a really long statement. It was really drawn out. And at first, I was like, I think even 50 Cent had alluded to this, that he felt like it was professionally put out by
like that ain't Hov.
Yeah, by like an agency or a lawyer. But I think it is Hov, if you really read it, because it feels like it was written by like an old person. Like, and that would kind of like there's a part where he goes, so no, I will not give you one red penny, and he capitalized it with exclamation points. And even the term "one red penny," I feel like
I've never even heard of that. Like one red penny, okay.
That sounds like maybe it's old school or something like that. And then
something my grandfather would say.
Yeah, right. That's what it feels like. 100%. I'm not giving one red penny. And then these allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? He's getting poetic on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going for it. But I think there's even a typo in there, which makes me feel like he didn't run this through like his PR service or anything like that. He goes, he said, we protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. I think he was going at Tony Buzbee. We have strict codes of honor. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, he says fake physics, but I think he meant to say fake psychics, will believe the idiotic claims that you have levied against me, that if not for the serious surrounding harm to kids would be laughable. So that I
didn't even hear that whole statement. So now that I'm hearing that whole statement, I don't think that was an attorney.
No, I think Hov was like feeling emotional.
Like he don't ever get on. I'm gonna respond to this. I got time today.
No, I wrote out a full letter in terms of response to it, sent it out to the media, and even NBC News had to like because I believe they broke the story. They had to re-speak to the accuser because there were inconsistencies in her story.
Right.
I believe she said
a lot
that.
Of inconsistencies.
Yep. And even her dad said,
I don't recall that. So at that point, it's like, come on, even your dad don't got your back.
Because I believe they lived a good distance away from New York City. They said this was at Radio City. He's like, I think I would remember that. You know what I mean?
And then she even put some other people there that after checking, those other people couldn't have been there because they were, they had business elsewhere.
I believe Benji and Joel Madden, who were in the group Good Charlotte. She was like, I was talking to him about his tattoos and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, and then their people were like, we weren't even there that year. We didn't go there. Even, I think she said that she went to a White House in Manhattan. Well, they got White Houses in Manhattan. But they got houses in Manhattan, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it just doesn't really make sense in terms of just the time and everything that we said. Now it also was 20 years ago.
Right.
So did you hear the accuser, like her speak?
Yeah, I heard it.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe she suffered from some type of
That's what I was about to say. Like she sounds like maybe she's not fully there.
Yeah.
Like, so
But you're playing a dangerous game when you put these accusations on people. How do you feel about the way that Hov has responded, like, to it? Because he could have just been like, I'm gonna let the lawyers handle this. Like, especially if you know you're innocent and you know that you have nothing to do. But he did not want to go down in the court of public opinion.
Yeah, I mean, so for that very reason, I feel like he had to respond, just because of the day and age that we're in. like I was hoping that we wouldn't even have gotten to this point where his name, because this is the first like official time we've hearing it. Like there may have been rumors and shit, but this is the first official story that's come out, and so I feel like we've kind of been waiting for this, like, and so it finally came, you know. So he addressed it. Hopefully it stays here, and you know nothing else comes out, because we don't need another one to fall.
Yeah, and I think he's going to go further in terms of take legal action against.
He should.
Yeah, he seems to be really going at it with the Tony Buzbee guy. Like he's
yeah, because I mean, you know, I don't know Tony obviously, but you know, when you do things like have phone number in the background, like he's on his Crump-ish, or just any of these attorneys who they're trying to make a name for themselves by representing, you know, high profile.
I wouldn't even say Crump. I'd say, wasn't there like a lady who did like all the Me Too cases? Yeah, he's trying to be the next one.
Yeah, I forget her name, but yeah.
He looked like he's trying to go down that route, which is at least in Crump's situation, you could say, yeah, he has a bias that's racial, but there's a system that's biased on the opposite side of it. It's when it comes to I think the sexual assault stuff, I think we want to have a fair system, but it's also like, well, these are allegations from 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Once your story starts falling apart, then it's like, now everything, what can we believe? So it's really hard to have that same kind of like respect for the bias. You know what I mean? Because some of these people might be lying. You know what I mean? Also, you as a lawyer built a business upon just accusing.
Right.
It's not even you're not even proving anything at this point, because you know people are scared of the accusations. There probably are a lot of celebrities that paid.
Right.
Just to be like, don't bring my name up, make sure it stays silent, blah, 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 blah. So I respect what Jay-Z is doing, because it is a really messed up place where you can accuse someone as a Jane Doe in complete secrecy and then expect someone to have to respond to that.
Right.
And especially in the court of public opinion. Diddy, who was obviously associated because his name was brought up, but not by any other means. Like, even Shawn Carter's, even Jay-Z's lawyer said we want to make it clear they're not friends; they're business associates. He's like, Jay-Z has no comments on Diddy's case. But
Mr. Carter said anything more specifically about Mr. Combs? He didn't really address him in his statement, but anything since outlets and internet speculation have tried to affiliate the two of them. He didn't really in his statement specifically say anything about any of the allegations.
I mean, Mr. Carter has nothing to do with Mr. Combs' case or Mr. Combs. They knew each other professionally for a number of years, just like in all professions. People know each other. At the music awards, they support each other. You go to the NBA All-Star game, they support each other. That's just how professions work. There is no closer association between any of them. That's also a matter of fiction. That's all that there is. He doesn't know anything about the charges for allegations against him. He has nothing to do with that case.
Even Diddy was like, well, look at that.
Huh? I mean, he said that. I mean, they are friends.
Yeah, I was going to ask you respect or speculation. How do you showed up to a lot of parties and had them at your party?
No, there's no. I think that's a bad statement to make, that they're not friends. I mean, it is what it is at the end.
But I guess
when
you consider friend, like, if all right, so I was thinking about this. I'll get back.
They may not be brothers, but you know, they've showed up to too many events together, like been seen. Now, again, I don't think they may not be best friends, but
I think they're friendly. Yeah, right. They're like, you've had you've worked in places where you've had a friend. You're not gonna hang out with this dude outside of work though. But at work, we could talk about the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? We could talk playoff. You know, we might not get too deep in a certain conversation. But we can talk like. So that's why I kind of feel like it might be along those levels. Because put it to you like this, right? Jay-Z's, these are all extremely rich people. They can have the party come to them whatever time. So when they go to like an industry party, like even like the white party, the Mike Rubin stuff, that's more industry work than I think partying. You want to be seen there. It's the same reason people want the Diddy parties, because it's a certain status. And then if you're smart, now just the director of such and such.
Network.
Yeah, exactly. So I think of those as, I don't even think of, if we were got to invited to something, it'd be something to brag about. Yo, we got invited to the thing. But I think if it was up to us and we had the money, we'd call our homies and some people that we like to be around and hang around them instead of hanging around strangers. Where you're like, this person just wants to take a picture with me because I'm Jay-Z. This person just wants to take a picture with you because you're Leonardo DiCaprio. You know what I mean? But they don't really care beyond that. It's something for them to put on their social media. So I can see where we see them at an award show and then the after party and that type of thing. And like they're cordial with each other. They don't have beef. They're cool. But he's like, yeah, I'm not hanging out with him in my free time when I get, you know what I'm saying? So to that statement, yeah. But I was gonna say Diddy was gonna come out and say, Diddy did come out and say, you know, there's inconsistencies in her story. This is just the first domino to fall and the inconsistencies to other people. And I think Jay-Z's like, hold on, don't connect me to that, bro. Right. My domino falling ain't your domino falling. And I'm saying that there is more dominoes to fall, but he's like, don't connect us like that. So I can see why he wanted to have that type of separation.
Right.
But even he had a new accuser come out in the past couple of weeks, a male who was talking on television, voice change in the dark. It's like, I get it, but if it's a civil case, show your face. If it's a criminal case and you want somebody to go down for it, I get why you should be a Jane Doe. But if you just hitting somebody up for the money and then you also willing to settle without it going to court, show your face.
Well, if you're trying to do all of those things, then it may be beneficial not to show your face, because then, I mean, you'll forever be visually tied to it, versus if in fact I am going to settle out of court, that means, you know, I'm not going to be in the courtroom. Mm-hmm. So there ain't going to be no camera. So technically nobody will ever really have to know who I am. Mm. But I do want to come out, because I think also by coming out into the public, it's kind of a way of applying pressure to a certain degree. You're not showing, meaning if,
by keeping their identity hidden, but stating their accusation, you're saying?
Okay. Right.
But that to me is really unfair, because if I understand correctly, I'm not trying to be a legal person, but even Jay-Z was demanding that they tell the identity of the Jane Doe so he can properly defend himself. Mm-hmm. He can say where he was at. He can say if he ever met this person, he can do that. But he's like, how am my lawyer supposed to defend me against something where we don't even know really what this accusation is coming from? So it was like, and I think it started up a debate in a lot of podcasts that I was hearing of whether or not you, in a civil case, you still be not a criminal case. I 100%, because you're worried about they might come after you, something might happen. But
that could also happen in
a civil case, yeah, I guess so. But it just, to me, it seems really unfair, because if I understand it correctly, we could sue Jay-Z for something right now.
Yeah,
just without really, and then it reaches, and it's gonna reach the media before it reaches the discovery of what we could bring for evidence, and so the damage is already done. And if you're talking about 13-year-old
from that perspective, yes, it is unfair.
It is very unfair, and I guess we don't really feel bad for celebrities and things of that nature because they put themselves in a position. But now it does seem like maybe something should change in some of these cases. Now, I do understand the argument for the other side, especially when you're talking about sexual abuse, why somebody did shame of it, embarrassment. They should be allowed to, something was done to them. They were a victim of something. They should be allowed to have certain rights in terms of protections. But I can see where the system is skewed in a way where we might have overcorrected in a way where now we've caused a problem on the other side in terms of that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what goes on with this. I'm hoping. I mean this with respect to all victims. I'm hoping Jay-Z makes it out of this unscathed, and I hope that he is innocent. And I don't feel bad for saying that. Like I was hoping Diddy was innocent.
Oh, yeah,
and people get mad at you for like I've heard people get not
you like sex offenders.
I heard a comedian say, right, someone, this is how you know people have no time on the internet. Someone, I guess Conor McGregor just got convicted I believe in overseas for sexual assault of some sort. And someone was like, they seen that he was friends with him, which means they probably had to search through his friends to know this. And they're like, you're still friends with Conor McGregor even after what he's done? Like, I love your comedy, but this is... I'm like, he's supposed to go through his Instagram when somebody gets in trouble with something and like unfollow. Like, right. Nobody's thinking like that. So it's like this weird... this weird pedestal that they want people to be on in terms of this celebrity. Like, yeah, you're gonna be friends with people who are in trouble, like it's the music industry.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about here? Like,
I mean, let the industry piece go. I mean, life. I mean, I know people who've gotten in trouble for different things. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't mean that, okay, once you get in trouble, now I have to shun you. Now, obviously, it depends on what you did and all of those things, but...
Even if you didn't shun me, you can't control your... If we hung out 5 years ago, you're going to go back and scrub all the pictures on the internet of like you can't go back and do that. Like, now, I think Ashton Kutcher had gotten in trouble because he wrote an impact statement for like his friend that was convicted of. It's like, you putting yourself out there a little bit much for your mans. This is also Ashton Kutcher, who when Diddy first got in trouble was kind of like, you might hear some things about me.
Oh, you did say that?
Yeah, and if you do, just know that, you know what I mean, it was bad and I regret my friendship with Sean Diddy Combs and all this stuff. So who knows what kind of dirt people have on Ashton Kutcher in these situations. But I'm just saying. I
like the honesty. Getting ahead. I told y'all.
Yeah, like Ellen disappeared. Remember they was like Usher and they took down their social media. So a lot of people was just like, I'm not dealing with the bullshit. You know that they was at these parties. So we know what it is. You know what I mean? But no, I really do. I hope, like I said, something changes in terms of I don't want to see people just be able to face allegations. I do like, because Me Too was started after a while to just be like, we're just going to accuse you of this, and then the corporate
and then public opinion will take you know.
So then they're like, now advertisers don't want to advertise with you. People don't want to do certain things because you're on it. So like, it was a weird catch-22 to be in. I hope that we can overcorrect in a way where we're not just canceling people before the truth comes out. But I also don't want to create an environment where now accusers are afraid to come forward. Now it's like, them, because we're giving them the side eye. It was like 25 years ago, 30, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But don't mean it's not true. It's just, you know what I mean? People got their reasons.
Right.
So we'll see what happens with that. And definitely we'll keep you informed here on the Perfect Talk podcast. And last year, the year ended off, Diddy was a free man. And we didn't know where it was going to go. And then it's like 12 months later, that guy's behind bars. So
the allegation started a year ago?
Oh yeah, it stared around November. I think that's when the Cassie thing happened. Okay. Yeah, and then he was So we'll see how it goes, man. What it do, y'all? It's your man DJ Playboy. Just interrupting real quick, man. I really appreciate you watching this episode of the Perfect Talk podcast. But if you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. You got to run them numbers up so I could keep running it up. Also, if you're listening to the audio version on the podcast, make sure you leave a review. Let them know how much you love the podcast, and subscribe to the thing. And if you really, really want to support the team, go to www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. Get yourself a t-shirt, get yourself a sticker. You could even get yourself a mug, man. The possibilities are endless and the prices are low. Holla at us, baby. Let's get it.